Your attention. I sound like a trainer now, so we're just going to start the speeches. So if you could, get yourself seated, Steph. Get yourself a drink, and I'm going to pass this on to Andy and let her get started.
Woo!
Welcome to everyone. It's been a wonderful day so far. I'm Chrissy's mum, by the way, and James' mother-in-law. I've always been amazed by Chrissy's positivity and energy. Whatever she's gone through, her sense of humour is something this family does share. This is an example of an email Chrissy sent to me in 2003 when I was in Australia. Please bear in mind she was 22 years old. Dear Mama, Andy, Naomi and Verity, it's just taken me half an hour to write all your names, so this won't be a long email, or I will be here all night. How's it going? Have you been eating a lot of shrimps on the barbie? Is Mum going up a tone at the end of each sentence yet? Don't let it happen, guys. Keep an eye on her. College is going well. I'm really loving it. It's awful for me at home without you lot. There's no one to cook my tea or tell me to do the washing and drying up. I can put all my washing on whenever I want. It's awful for me. Most days I get up and take time to jump on your beds whilst eating a crumbly flake. I've emptied the shed of all the tools into the garden and filled it with my massive collection of teddies. Since you've been gone, I haven't watered the plants or put the rubbish out. I think that's what you asked me to do. I'm a bit annoyed that you didn't come home to look after me when I was poorly sick. I phoned Childline and Social Services and they're waiting for you when you come home. I can't wait to see Ruthie when she comes down. This might help to reduce your phone bills. James has fitted in very well with our family, with his sense of humour. One of the things Chrissy said about him is he makes me laugh. Not sure he always means to, but he always does. In the words of Billy Connolly, my hero, laugh, always laugh. Nothing else will ever keep you going like laughter. I also have a message from a few other members of our family. This is from Naomi. Congratulations, Chrissy and James. At last, James, officially part of the family. To be fair, you have always been part of the family from the start. You fitted in straight away, and the family love you to bits. You welcomed us into your home and let us come back when the kids wouldn't leave and I kept breaking stuff. Just wanted to say thank you to you both for being such a massive support to my family. Even when times were a bit tough, you kept us safe, positive and made us laugh, and we love you to bits. This is a message from Gracie. Chrissy and James have been amazing when I was in hospital. Chrissy coming over and James brought me loads of presents for my birthday. I love them very much. Keep my room ready, I'll be staying when I can. A poem from Joel to Chrissy, James and Stanley. I would like to say you are very cool, rolling up a big snowball or walking while leaves fall, or taking a picture of a tree that is tall. I think you are super duper, fun and coming up with ideas when there's sun. On the racing track every night, holding our controls very tight. Lots of huggies and lots of time. It's very hard to make this rhyme. I've got one more message, and this is from Down Under. And I'll just tell you before I start, I've practiced this one 4 times in the past 4 weeks and never get through it. So Claire has promised if I don't make it, she's going to take over. So, a message from Down Under. Although we are not physically here with you today, you are in our hearts and minds as you celebrate this long-awaited special day. We absolutely love you both, and although we have already fully embraced James into our family, it's wonderful to have this special day to make it official. No escaping James. On a serious note, James, I'm truly proud to call you my brother-in-law. You are so kind, generous, funny, thoughtful, hard-working, and such a great role model and awesome uncle to Chrissy, Gracie, Joel, Daniel and Ethan. You have a wonderful gift of entertaining your silliness around the children, and they really love you for that. Plus they think you are pretty awesome at buying presents. Daniel and Ethan also send their apologies for not being there today. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it as they had to head back to the Crustaceous period for a dinosaur adventure. They're weird in Australia. Chrissy, my other half, sorry James, you have to share that title. I am so truly happy for you both. James, you've definitely hit the jackpot. Chrissy is one of the most loving and caring people I know. She has an amazing gift of bringing out the best in people. She's so loving and thoughtful and loyal. I love you dearly. Thank you for being an amazing sister and friend, always there when I need you, despite the miles between us. James, you are not just officially getting a wife today, you are gaining one awesome friend too. And with that in mind, we would like to raise our glasses to you. With love and happiness, here's to you, officially, bride and groom.
I don't know how to follow that. Firstly, a warm welcome to you all. I can't tell you how amazing it is to have you all here with us on our big day. We would like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for making the effort to be with us today. It means so much to have you here celebrating with us. Thank you, Annie, John, Ruth and Naomi for your kind words and wonderful speech. We would both like to thank you for your love and support leading up to our big day. And also a personal thank you from me for welcoming me so warmly into your family. Annie even remarked after our first meeting that I was the most normal boyfriend that Chrissy had ever had. Which was a lovely sentiment, but also made me wonder exactly how odd you would have to be. Thank you, Terry, for accompanying Chrissy down the aisle today and for joining us with your family. It really does mean a lot to Chrissy to have you all here today. So thank you for that. To my parents, Margaret and Jim, firstly, may I be so bold as to congratulate you on behalf of everyone here for producing such a handsome and well-rounded and captivating individual. You are the most loving parents that I could ever wish for. I cannot thank you enough for the love and support over the years. You are truly a remarkable couple and fantastic parents, and thank you for welcoming Chrissy so warmly into our family. We'd also like to congratulate you for celebrating your 50th wedding anniversary on the 7th of August this month. And with that in mind, I'd like to propose another toast to my parents, Margaret and Jim.
Maggie and Jim.
And also give you these. You ready? My wife and I have been looking forward to this day for so long. The planning has been difficult, as you can imagine, and we have rescheduled twice. We have received lots of help and advice along the way, and it's my job to honour and thank you all. Firstly, to our lovely bridesmaids, Naomi, Kath and Gracie. I think we'll all agree that they look absolutely beautiful today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being by Chrissy's side. It's meant so much to her, and your love and support today has really helped calm her. I would like you all to join me in a toast and raise your glasses to the bridesmaids.
For the bridesmaids.
I would now like to turn everybody's attention to the beautiful lady sitting right next to me. I'm sure you will all agree that she looks absolutely stunning today.
Yeah. No.
Today is honestly the happiest day of my life. I feel so incredibly lucky to have finally met my soulmate. Our first meeting was a blind date in a local pub, and on a Tuesday night, and I arrived fashionably late, or on golf time, as you will know. Chrissy was sitting at the bar with two of the locals, offering counselling and advice to a young chap who later revealed himself to be known as Lucky Jamie, who, despite his apparent good luck, had been dumped by his girlfriend that evening. Sweating and nervous, I purchased a drink, and after a good luck message from Jamie himself, we sat down and our day began. We chatted non-stop for several hours, which is unusual for me, and I knew pretty quickly that this wasn't an ordinary date. At the end of the evening, feeling that things had gone quite well, I stepped outside and offered to walk Chrissy home, at which point she mentioned that she had driven into town and offered to give me a lift. For some unknown reason, and not knowing where Chrissy lived, I barked out a response, "No thanks, I don't think you live anywhere near me." I was less than 2 minutes into my walk when I heard a car coming up behind the road behind me, and watched as Chrissy cruised by. You are kind, beautiful, funny, loving. Sorry, I can't quite read what you put there. And the most selfless person I've ever met. Since meeting you, my life has been filled with so much joy and laughter. We share the same silly sense of humour, and you are my best friend, and I cannot wait to start this next chapter of our life together. I once said to a friend that I was looking for something that felt like I once had or felt familiar, and that's exactly what I found. When I'm with you, it feels like I'm home and right where I should be. Please can you join me in a toast to my beautiful wife, Christina.
Hey, Christina!
And now, before I hand you over to my best men, Andy and Adam, thank you for everything you have done for me today. It really is a massive honour to have you both standing by my side today. Over the years, you have really helped and supported me, probably both, probably more than you both realise. And I'm lucky to be able to call you my best men. As a side note, before I let them speak, I feel that I'd better warn you that both of them are habitual liars and like to make up stories about other people for their own amusement. Yes. I've missed the page. Alice and Claire. We cannot thank you enough for your military-style planning over the past month or so. We were so overwhelmed and we asked for help, and you came to our rescue and then some. Watching you both during our initial planning meeting in our garden was truly a sight to behold. I'm pretty sure that whilst knocking up a spreadsheet and Gantt diagram, Alice found the time to call Sir Alan Sugar and fire him. We really cannot thank you enough, and we consider ourselves lucky to have such lovely and dependable friends. We would also like to thank Dan and Joe, who I think you will agree have done a remarkable job of decorating the venue for us today. Are
Yeah.
seriously talented individuals. So if I could hand over to Andy and Adam, please. Thank you. Or we could just leave it.
Right, hello, welcome all to this wonderful wedding day of James and Chrissy. And as it's such a wonderful day, I'm not going to stand up here like normal best men do and slaughter the poor groom here just for cheap laughs and giggles. He is.
Чечный диск не welcome Sorry, I was preparing for an Eastern European wedding for such a long time. I forgot to change it. Chrissy, sorry, you look absolutely gorgeous today. And James, you don't scrub too bad either. So the last time I saw this many happy faces in kilts, it takes me all the way back to when Scotland battered England 0-0 in the Euro.
That's the end of those jokes. We don't do anymore. Let's go back to the beginning then. Little James Garvin grew up at a place called Thurmby Lodge in Leicester and started out in the local primary school, a real tough, comprehensive school, hard as nails kids, real rough and ready types. So James fitted right in on his first day, turning up carrying a cello.
Affectionately named Whitehead due to his flowing ghost-like white hair. He managed to stay out of trouble until he went to secondary school, where he met us. That's when trouble finally found him, in the fearsome 5'6" wet Milan Patel. In James's words, he thought he'd done him on points.
So clearly he would become a lover, not a fighter. And he had his fair share of female admirers at school, did James. But he never seemed to hit it off on the right note. Some put this down to his supreme conversational prowess, demonstrated once on one awkward day, with James deciding to ask the young lady in question, on an awkward silence, what her favourite vegetable was.
James, to be fair, was a little bit picky with his women, leading to, let me say, a little barren spell. This in turn led to an uncomfortable conversation with Jim in the pub. And I will apologise for my accent here, but it went a little bit like this. Andy, is James gay? So, for one split second, I thought how funny this would be, just to say yes. But realised I was spending a little bit too much time with him, but reassured him that James was just a little bit picky.
So along with the poor tasting,
but not so picky with his tattoo choices. At 16 years old, James thought it'd be a good idea to get a can of Red Stripe tattooed on his arm.
which he never did, but it was a bad idea. So along with the poor tasting tattoos, punctuality was also not his strong point. He seemed to have a great deal of trouble getting out of the house on time for nights out. We eventually found out why when Shane Smith famously called round the Garvin household one evening. He knocked on the door and he looked through the window. You'll never guess what he saw. You're all right. Don't panic. He just saw you there, sat in your underpants, drinking a bottle of wine instead of getting ready for the night out like you should have been.
It's funny you should mention underpants. I used to stay around James's house when we were a little bit younger. Used to leave the odd item of clothing there. So one evening in the pub we were playing pool, where James leant over for a shot, and I noticed a pair of underpants a quite remarkable pair of underpants. Amazing underpants. Yes, my underpants.
So James continued in his search for true love, but sometimes he just couldn't see past his own chin. For some strange reason, it seemed every time James did get a girlfriend, she always had some complicated ex-boyfriend who'd still be lurking around the scene. James, though, being the kind, considerate soul he is, around midnight would often invite the stalker in out of the freezing cold bushes and make him a nice cup of tea.
This obviously rubbed off on James for his fondness of stalking, hiding in bushes, stalking Somerset's very own non-famous and non-rich, nobody is safe from the Nikon camera, and definitely not from the GoPro camera.
One thing he did finally manage to land successfully, however, was the lovely Chrissy. And quite genuinely, the first time he did tell us all about you, we did notice the difference in him, and we genuinely knew that you were going to be the one he'd always been looking for.
Oh.
I know we've poked a bit of fun at him today, but never let the truth get in the way of a good story. And not surprisingly, he's took it well on the chin. Chrissy, you really have a good one there, and I have no doubt that you'll be very happy together in years to come. So my congratulations to you both. So may we have a toast. To the bride and groom.
The bride and groom.
Sorry, that really was a short and sweet speech, so we'll finish on that note. Just with one final thing to say. It was nice to see you, nice.
Sorry, I guess I should say something. Shortly the room will be turned around, there'll be coffee and tea served in the sort of main area. There's going to be a magician going around entertaining you all. And then, yeah, a magic mirror, so go and get your photos taken. And sign the guest book, have a few drinks, get ready for dancing later.
Woo! Hey!